Nympho.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video, if you can't tell by the title, we're going to be playing with a new brand. Yes, I'm excited. I only picked up one thing from this new brand, which is just the eyeshadow palette, and I am so excited to try it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get straight on into it. So if you didn't know, Mitchell has launched his new brand. I'm excited. He launched it like last month, so October, towards the end of the month. I was excited. At first, when I first saw the products, I was like, I wasn't like overly sure. However, then just looking at the products a bit more, I was like, okay, I kind of like the look of them. So he launched 2 new palettes. He launched some liquid blushes. He launched some brushes, and he also launched like little makeup bags and cases and stuff. So if you are like a working makeup artist, you can use them to store in your makeup, that kind of thing, which I think is really handy. I don't know who Mitchell is. Mitchell is an amazing makeup artist. He does some amazing looks. Yeah, his looks are just stunning. He's collaborated with a few other brands in the past, like he's collaborated with Beauty Bay, like he came out with his own palette with Beauty Bay, which we all know I love that palette. He then came out with some lashes with Taffy lashes. I'm pretty sure he's done another collaboration with another brand, but I just can't remember what the brand is. But yeah, they're the two main ones are Taffy lashes and Beauty Bay. And now he's just come out with his own brand. I only picked up one thing from his new brand, and that's just one of the eyeshadow palettes. I wasn't interested in like the liquid blushes. They're not really my kind of thing. And I wasn't interested in the brushes. I don't need any more brushes. I have enough brushes, like trust me. And I didn't need any cases or anything. So yeah, I thought we'd just pick up one of the palettes. I'll put up a photo of the other palette that I didn't pick up here. It is really pretty. I didn't feel like I needed it at this moment in time. However, if, you know, in the future I decide to pick it up, I might do a testing video on it, but we'll just see. It is an expensive few months at the minute with Christmas and whatnot, so yeah, I didn't really want to buy both. So I literally just picked up one of them, and I picked up one that is called Head in the Clouds. And can we just talk about the packaging? Oh my god, look how amazing this is. So it does have the palette name on the top here, Head in the Clouds, and on the back it does have like a little, you know, like little message here. Also, by the way guys, the name of the brand is called Made by Mitchell. I totally forgot to mention that. I'm really sorry. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and test out this palette. I am so excited. I'm going to swatch the whole palette. So yes, let's just dive straight on into it. So the palette does come with a little pouch, which I kind of thought was cute. I mean, it just feels really nice. It almost feels like a laptop kind of case, if you know what I mean, like one of these like fabric kind of ones. Obviously got like a little zip on it. Yeah, both the palettes come with a pouch, which I kind of think it's cute. Wouldn't have been bothered either way. Like I wouldn't have been bothered if it came with a pouch or not. I don't really know what what the pouch is meant to be used for. Like, is it meant to help protect the palette? I'm not overly sure. But I kind of thought it was a nice little touch to the palette. So yeah, we have a nice cute little pouch. Feels really nice. So yeah, I can't complain. It's the same design on the pouch as it is like the palette, so I do find that kind of cute. And obviously the box is the same as the palette as well. I think I'm pretty sure they're both the same on the back as well. Yeah, they basically look the same, to be honest with you. By the way guys, this palette is retail for £40. This is what the packaging, the palette looks like. Really nice. I love it. Love the reflectiveness. There's also like little M's like around it as well, if you can kind of see in the light, which is really cute. You can definitely tell that he's put a lot of thought into this packaging. It also feels really heavy. Not really heavy, but like it feels heavy, so it feels like quite luxurious almost, and it's quite thick as well, which I do like that. I prefer palettes, especially if you're spending a bit more money on them, if they're a little bit thicker, they feel a little bit more luxurious, that kind of thing. And when you open her up, you do get like a little plastic sleeve, like a plastic cover to protect the shadows, and it does have like the M on it as well, which I find really cute. I think that's a really nice little touch. Obviously it's going to protect your shadows, but also it's custom as well, which I think is dead cute. And this is what the palette looks like. So it's very colourful. There's a lot of shades in here. There's 25 shades, which I actually love. And the pans are actually pretty big. Like if I get another palette to compare. So for instance, this is like Huda Beauty's eyeshadows. And then this is the size of Mitchell's. Like there's a big difference. Like you can definitely see there's a lot of product in here for each pan. Yeah, I really like the shades in this palette. There's a lot of colour in here, but what I also like is there's a couple of neutrals. So you have this like deep brown shade up here. You also have like this like light brown shade, so you can go for something more wearable if you wanted to. But there's also a lot of colour in here, which obviously I love me colour, you guys know that. It's weird. On the website it says that in this palette there is 3 sheens and 3 metallics and then 19 mattes. However, it looks like there's like 7 shimmers altogether instead of like 6 of both, if that kind of makes sense. So I can see in this palette that there's like 18, no. Yeah, I can see in this palette that there's like 18 mattes. I don't really know. So let's go ahead and let's start swatching the palette because I'm excited. Okay, so we have the first row here. These all swatch really well, to be honest with you. We have the shade Walter first. This is like a creamy white shade. Very nice, swatched, very pigmented, to be honest with you. We then have the shade Better Days, which is like the first metallic-y sheen, I guess. It's more metallic. We then have the shade Shepherd's Delight, beautiful. We then have the shade Cockpit, which honestly is so unique. And then we have the shade Dusk, which is a beautiful, like, deep matte brown. To the second row, we have some more, like, pastel-y shades in this row. So we have the first one, which is called Bora Blue. We then have the shade Lucid. And then they have the shade Eclipse, really nice. Look at that. We then have the shade Ufho. And then we have the last shade, which is called Skywalker. For pastels, they actually swatched really well. The only one I had to build up twice was the Bora Blue one. But other than that, they all swatched like fine just once. Moving on to the third row. Really nice shades in here. We have the shade Sunburn, which is a beautiful like orange. We then have the shade Golden Hour. I think this is like a sheen because you can see it's probably duochrome. Look at that shift. Oh. We then have the shade Doris Day, which is definitely like a cool tone, like grey taupe shade. It's probably the only shade in the palette that I wouldn't tend to reach for, to be honest with you. Just yeah. We then have the shade Night Nympho, I think it is. I think it's Night Nympho. That took me a while. Really pretty, like hot pink. And then we have the shade Clouded, which looks like it could be a sheen as well, but it's really bright and pigmented. And moving on to the fourth row, we have the shade Purps and Caicos, which is really cute. It's a really nice purple, packed on really well, like just by one swatch. We then have the shade Dawn, which is a really nice like creamy beige shade, really handy for people like myself who need like a lighter skin tone shade. We then have the shade Twinkul. Look at that. Oh my god. Like, that is beautiful. We then have the shade Banana Skies, really cute pastel yellow. And then we have the last shade, which is called Midnight, which is like a deep purple. Oh, can we talk about these swatches? Look at that. Look at this. I feel like I have to use that because that is literally so pretty. Oh my gosh. We have the last row. These are really pretty. Oh my god. So we have the first shade, which is called Hi Honey, which is a really beautiful warm tone brown. We then have this shade Pink Eye, which, oh my god, look at that. Look at that. Stop. We then have the shade Mmmmarmalade, which is a beautiful orange shade. Again, you could probably use this in like an everyday look if you wanted to. We then have the shade So Disguised, which is beautiful as well. Look at that. And then we have the last shade, which is called Night Shift. I honestly thought this was like a deep brown. Like looking at it in the pan, it looks like a really deep brown, but it's almost like a really deep eggplant purple, but it is so pretty, so pretty. So based off swatches, so far you guys, I'm really impressed and I cannot wait to use it. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to prime my lids and we're going to jump straight on into testing out this palette. So yeah, I'll be right back. I've literally just primed my lids off camera and zoomed you guys in. Okay, so I'm going to take the first shade. I'm going to take the shade Purps in Caicos, which I feel like I have to pick up this palette every single time, which is this beautiful purple shade here. I think all of these are pressed pigments as well, guys. Yeah, it says pressed pigment palettes. I'm guessing they're all like pressed pigments, which is why they look so beautiful. So I'm going to start to pack this like through the crease. There's a little bit of kick up, but you know, I'm not bothered at all. I'm going to do like a sort of halo eye today, so I'm going to bring this in. The shade is packing on really well. There is quite a bit of fallout from it, which I'm not like overly bothered about because, you know, it is a purple and, you know, it is a pressed pigment, so sometimes there can be quite a bit of fallout, but that's just something for you guys to note if you do pick up this palette. I'm then going to take a little bit of Night Nympho, which is this hot pink shade here, and I'm going to start to like blend out this purple a little bit with it. Pink is blending out the purple really nice. It's very pigmented. It's very blendable, so I'm going to tip into the shade Mmmmarmalade, which is this beautiful like bright orange shade. And again, just going around the pink with this. We're trying to go for a sunset kind of look over here. Honestly, I feel like that took no effort, like there was no effort needed. It's coming together, it's starting to come together. I'm going to go into the shade Banana Skies, which is the very like pastel yellow shade here. Obviously I'm going to put this around the edges of the shade we've literally just used. For a pastel shade though, like it's quite pigmented, like you can see it, it's very light, but it's doing what I need it to do, so I'm really happy with how these shades are built up and blended out. Not really had a problem with any of them. They've all blended out really nicely, packed on really nicely. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to build up each of these shades again off camera, basically doing the same thing, building them up, blending them out, and then we're going to go ahead, cut my crease, and then we'll come back and we'll test out one or two of these beautiful shimmer shades for the lid. So yeah, I'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. Obviously just done my halo eye off camera. I know I'm not best at halo eyes, but I feel like I need to switch up my look sometimes and not do a cut crease all the time. For the lid shade, I really want to use that like turquoise shade, the shade Twinkul. Like I just Twinkul, yeah, Twinkul. I don't say Twinkul. I really want to use the shade Twinkul, which is this beautiful like turquoise shade here. I really want to use that. But then I think I might use a little bit of Eclipse with it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Eclipse first, which is that like beautiful duochrome purpley blue shade. And I'm going to put that on the edges of my cut crease, closest to the purple matte shade. Ooh. It's definitely showing up more blue, however I feel like I can make it work. Blend it into the purple because it does have a bit of purple like reflect to it. Also guys, it does pack on really well with a brush, like I'm actually impressed. I always get worried when like shades don't pack on well with brushes. I always use brushes to apply my shimmer shades, so it's got some beautiful reflex to it, that shade, like. Okay, and then I'm going to go into the shade Twinkul, which is that beautiful turquoisey shade that I literally just stabbed, which made me sad. This shade here, I only stabbed it a little bit, it's fine. I'm going to put that on the centre. I don't really know how it's going to work with this look, however I wanted to use it and we're using it. Again, that packs on really well with a brush. Look at that. Oh my god. That is so gorgeous. Honestly, I love this. I am going to be a little bit cheeky and use another shimmer shade. I'm going to take the shade Better Days, which is like this really pretty gold shade up here. I'm going to dab a little bit just in the centre of like the turquoise shade, just to see like what it does, you know, just to see if it brightens it a little bit. I mean, it does definitely brighten. 100%. Look at that. I just think it looks nice. Like, I think it just adds a little bit of something to it to make it even brighter. I'm obsessed with this. I'm actually obsessed with it. I don't know if it goes or not, but I love it. For the inner corner, I'm going to take the shade Clouded. It is that white. It is that white shimmer shade here. Yeah, we're just going to put this on the inner corner because it is a bright white. Ooh. Wow, okay. Okay. That is stunning. I legit cannot, I can't deal. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, do this off camera, do the rest of my base off camera, that kind of thing, and then we're back to kind of give you guys my final thoughts. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. What do you guys think? I am obsessed with it, literally love it. Think it's beautiful. By the way guys, on my lower lash line, I literally just used the hot pink and the pastel yellow that we used. So I used Night Nympho, I think it's called, and then I used Banana Skies just on the lower lash line. I didn't want to do too much, I just wanted to add something under there that was quite light, as we have so much going on the lid. So yeah, what do I think about this palette, you guys? Honestly, I'm obsessed. I'm actually obsessed with it. I used quite a few shades, so I used 8 shades out of the palette, which I think is quite a few shades, to be honest with you. Honestly, I didn't have a problem with any of them, I'm not even gonna lie. I obviously started off with Purps and Caicos, which that shade packed on really well. There was a little bit of fallout and quite a bit of kick up in the pan, but nothing major. So I would suggest, if you are gonna use this palette, to do like your eyes first, then your base second. And then went in with the shade Night Nympho, that blended out the purple, sorry, really well. I obviously then went into the shade Mmmmarmalade, that blended out really beautiful. And then I went into the shade Banana Skies, which, because it's a pastel shade, it didn't show up that much, but building it up, it did actually show up. That you can see that it's there and it has blended out that orange shade really nicely. There was quite a bit of kick up with that shade, but like no fallout I wouldn't say, and it still looks gorgeous for a pastel. Yeah. I then obviously went into the lid shades. I used shade Eclipse first, which that shade packed on beautifully. Dry as well with a brush as well. Gorgeous. And then went into the shade Twinkul. I don't know why I keep saying that's the Twinkful. I don't know why. I went to the shade Twinkul, which... Are you kidding me? Do you see this? Do you see this? Look at that. Again, that packed on really well with a brush. Packed on, yeah, beautifully. It didn't have a problem with it. Oh, it just looks so gorgeous. It's so like the shimmers in here are so creamy that they just look amazing. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. And then I went into the shade Better Days, which is this beautiful yellow shade up here, just in the centre, and I feel like it definitely has made it pop. And then I went into the shade Clouded last for my inner corner, and that just looks gorgeous. I just love the colour story, and there's so many looks you can create with this. I love the formula. The formula is definitely amazing. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. For £40, is it expensive? Yes. However, the quality is there, and you can create an endless amount of looks with this. There's a lot of mattes to work with, which I really appreciate. There's nothing bad I can say about this. I 100% recommend it. If you did like this video, please remember to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as it would really help me out. If you want me to do another look using this palette, then of course just let me know, because I will do, because I just love the formula of it, and I would definitely be wanting to use it more, especially now that I won't be working for a while. Yes. As always, I'll be linking my social media handles above and also in the description box down below, so you can go and check me out if you want to. Everything else that I'm wearing as well will also be in the description box in case you guys are interested. And yes, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!